This is one of the most dangerous snakes in the world, an absolute monster that can reach lengths of over 30 feet. And if that's not enough to scare you, just wait until you hear its name. Seriously, no one wants to mess with this snake. But today we are going to find out why it actually sucks to be born as a giant anaconda. Welcome back, everyone. It's me and you are watching this channel. The Amazon River is one of the most dangerous places in the world. In its murky waters swim hundreds of different species of fish, many of which are piranhas, vicious predators that will tear other animals to pieces in a matter of seconds. There are also electric eels, which can kill their prey with a single shock. You might think that would be enough to keep you away from the river, but there's even more. The Amazon is also home to a number of dangerous reptiles, including caimans, which have the ability to grow to over 20 feet long and can easily take down prey bigger than themselves. But if you still want to take a dip in the Amazon, there's one more thing that may make you change your mind: the green anaconda. These gigantic snakes are arguably the scariest creatures that live in the Amazon, or at least they would be if people could see them. That's right. Green anacondas prefer to ambush their prey before swallowing them whole, and they do this by burying themselves in the mud at the bottom of the Amazon. The snake's color allows it to blend in perfectly with the swamp plants, making it extremely hard to spot. However, when an unsuspecting animal wanders too close, the anaconda strikes with lightning speed and drags its meal into the water. At this point, the anaconda's thick, rubbery skin protects it from any counterattack, and it slowly swallows its prey while squeezing the life out of it. These snakes are apex predators. Their diet consists of turtles, caiman, monkeys, tapirs, capybara, deer, jaguars, and even crocodiles. They have been known to eat humans as well. But while all of these things may sound great for a snake, there are a few reasons why being a giant anaconda is actually pretty terrible. Let's start with how they're born. You see, when female anacondas give birth, they don't do it the normal way. Instead, the baby snakes, which can be anywhere from 20 to 40 at a time, are actually pushed out of their mother through her mouth. This is called oral birth. And to make matters worse, the babies are fully grown when they're born. So the mother essentially has to give birth to 20 to 40 adult snakes at once. Imagine the pain she must feel after that. Speaking of giving birth, female anacondas get pregnant by mating with multiple males. In fact, a single female can mate with up to 12 different anacondas in a single breeding season. But the males aren't exactly thrilled about this. Once a male anaconda reaches sexual maturity, he will spend the rest of his life searching for a female to mate with. Males typically only get to breed once every 2 years because females store sperm for such a long time that they don't need to mate very often. So when a male finally finds a female ready to mate, he will try to inseminate her as many times as possible. The goal is to be the only male that successfully fertilizes the eggs so that he can pass on his genes to the next generation. This can result in a huge fight between males, which can go on for hours. Sometimes the fighting is so intense that the snakes end up killing each other. If a male manages to fertilize a female, he will often stay with her until she gives birth so that he can protect her from other males. But even then, the male still has to compete with his fellow anacondas because the female may choose to mate with another snake the next time she's ready to reproduce. And it's not just the males that cause problems during mating. Females will sometimes eat the males after they've finished mating. Now, you might be wondering why the females do this. I mean, they just mated with these snakes. Why would they want to eat them afterwards? Well, it turns out that eating the males is actually a way of helping the female give birth. You see, the act of mating causes the female's body to produce toxins that make her eggs develop faster. Unfortunately, this process is also extremely painful. So the female will eat the male to produce more of a substance called corticosterone, which reduces the pain. Essentially, the male becomes a sort of painkiller for the female. Talk about a sacrifice. Now, As we've said before, when baby anacondas are born, they are fully grown adults. This means that as soon as they leave their mother's mouth, they have to fend for themselves. There's no such thing as a baby anaconda. As far as nature is concerned, as soon as they're born, they're on their own. And if that wasn't difficult enough, the baby anacondas also have to deal with being hunted by caimans. Newborn anacondas are particularly vulnerable because they haven't had a chance to develop their camouflage abilities yet. This makes them easy targets for caiman, which often hunt them down and eat them. In some cases, a single caiman has been known to eat dozens of baby anacondas in a single day. As a result, many newborn anacondas die within the first few days of their lives. Those that do survive often have to spend months hiding in the swamps before they re-big enough to hunt. Although anacondas can eat just about anything, they're not immune to snakebite. In fact, anacondas are often killed by other snakes. If an anaconda is bitten by a venomous snake, it will begin to experience symptoms similar to those of a human who has been bitten by a venomous snake. The snake's gums will become swollen and bleeding, and it will eventually stop breathing. Even if the bitten anaconda manages to kill the snake that bit it, it will still die from the venom. When anacondas kill their prey, they often swallow it whole. This means that the snake has to be able to constrict hard enough to suffocate its prey, but not so hard that it breaks its ribs and makes the meal difficult to swallow. If the anaconda squeezes its prey too tight, the bones will break and the snake will have to spit out its dinner. On the other hand, if the anaconda doesn't squeeze hard enough, its prey may be able to escape and live to fight another day. Therefore, anacondas have to learn how to control their strength in order to get the perfect kill. If they can't get it just right, they may end up with nothing to eat. As we mentioned earlier, anacondas often eat other snakes, including venomous ones. This means that anacondas have to be resistant to venom. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to survive. The good news is that anacondas do seem to be naturally resistant to most venoms. The bad news is that this resistance isn't 100%. In fact, there are a few species of venomous snakes whose venom can kill an anaconda. For example, the mainland tiger snake is a highly venomous snake that can kill an anaconda by injecting its venom into its bloodstream. The venom is so powerful that it can cause the snake's blood to clot, which leads to a heart attack or stroke. So as you can see, being a giant anaconda isn't all fun and games. While these snakes are at the top of the food chain, they still have to deal with a number of dangers, from being eaten by caimans to being killed by venomous snakes. Hopefully this video has made you appreciate the challenges that these amazing creatures face every day. Thanks for watching.